Good morning, students. In the last class, we have studied about the structure of model membrane, and in this class, let us know about membrane protein diffusion, osmosis, ion channel, active transport, and also membrane pump. First, let us know about what is osmosis. Osmosis is the diffusion of water molecules across a selectively permeable membrane. Water will diffuse from a region of its higher concentration to a region of its lower concentration. And when water moves into a body by osmosis, hydrostatic pressure or osmotic pressure may build up inside the body. There are certain terms which are used to compare solute concentration of two solutions separated by a membrane. In that, first one is the isotonic solution. So, isotonic solution, it have a equal solute concentration. So, in this figure, you may observe that both the movement of water molecules, it takes place both towards the inside and towards the outside, and there is a equal concentration of a solute we may observe, and this isotonic solution leads to the flaccid condition of a cell. Next, second one is the hypertonic solution. This is a solution has a higher solute concentration than the other solution, and hypertonic solution leads to the plasmolysed cell. So in this figure, you may observe hypertonic solution. In this, the water movement takes place towards the outside of a cell, so it leads to the plasmolysed condition. Third one is the hypotonic solution. In this, solution has a lower solute concentration than the other solution, and here the water movement of water takes place towards the cell, and it leads to the turgid condition. And we may observe the passive transport and also active transport. In case of passive transport, there is no requirement of a energy, but in case of active transport, there is a requirement of energy, that is transport of ions or molecules takes place by the consumption of certain energy. And next concept is the transportation of molecules. So transportation of molecules are of different types, and that first one is the co-transport. In this, transfer of one solute depends upon the sequential transfer of another solute. Second one is a uniport system. In this system, one type of molecule movement occurs bidirectionally. Third one is the symport. Here, in this symport, solutes move in the same direction. So, in this figure, you may observe. Let us take example. Let us assume this. You may identify the colors. This dark color is one of the solute, and this somewhat light color is another solute, and these both solute move in the same direction. So we consider it as a symport. And next one, that is the last one, is the antiport system. In this system, two molecules move in a opposite direction. So in this antiport, you may observe that there is a opposite movement of molecules, and these transporters are classified into different types, that is channels, carriers, primary active transporters, and also secondary active transporters. Next is the ion channels. Ion channels provide hydrophilic pores through which select ion can diffuse, moving down their electrical or chemical concentration gradients. And let us know about what are the properties of ion channels. In that, first property is ion channels can be highly selective for particular ions. Second one is ion channels exist in open and a closed system. So in this diagram you may observe the closed and also open states, and most of the cells have a variety of ions for channels. The ions may be of sodium ion, potassium ion, calcium ion, and also chlorine. And these ion channels, so these ion channels are divided into two types, that is ligand gated channel and voltage gated channel. So you may observe in this diagram, that is voltage gated channel and also ligand gated channel. So we may also observe certain proteins, they are called as ionophores. So these ionophores are synthesized by some of the microbes, and these are small organic molecules and function as a shuttles for the movement of ion across the membranes. So this helps in the movement of certain ions. And second one is the aquaporins. As the name indicates, aqua means water. So these aquaporins provide channel for a rapid movement of water molecules across all plasma membrane. So next, ligand gated channels and also voltage gated channels. So these ligand gated channels open and close in response to the binding of specific chemicals. So you may observe in the ligand gated channel there will be the binding of certain chemicals, and by this the channel may open or close. Second one is a voltage gated channel. In this, channels open and close in response to the electrical potential across the membrane. So in the voltage gated channel, you may observe the electrical charge, that is positive and also negative charges. Based on this, the channels are going to open or close. Next is the active transport. In active transport, the molecules are transported away from the thermodynamic equilibrium, hence energy is required. So, in case of a passive transport, there is no requirement of the energy, but in case of active transport, there is requirement of the energy, and this energy, it comes from the hydrolysis of a ATP, that is conversion of ATP into ADP and also inorganic phosphate from the electron movement or from a light. In general, the cells maintain a low intracellular sodium ion concentration and high intracellular potassium ion concentration along with the net negative electrical potential inside. And here the pump, what we call it is as ATPase, and you are observing the structure. It is known as sodium ion potassium ion ATPase pump. In this you may observe that there is a movement of 3 sodium ions from inside the cell to the outside and brings 2 potassium ions from outside to the inside for the every molecule of ATP hydrolyzed to ADP. So when ATP is hydrolyzed to ADP, there will be the movement of 3 Na plus ions from the cell to outside the cell, and also from outside the cell 2 potassium ions which are carried into the cell. And this is by the membrane associated ATPase. And the next concept is a ion pumps. So it is similar as that of the active transport. In this case, cells have an active ion pump that removes sodium ions from cell and introduces potassium ions. Three sodium ions are pumped from the inside and 2 potassium ions from the outside of a cell for each molecule of ATP cleaved. So when the ATP is going to cleave and is going to form a ADP and inorganic phosphate, then 3 sodium ions which move outside the cell, and by this from outside the cell 2 potassium ions which are moved into the cell. So by this excess positive ion is pumped out with the result that a negative charge develops inside the cell and a positive charge accumulate on the outside. So it leads to the accumulation of positive charge outside and negative charge inside. So this action is called as electrogenic action. And there is another example for an ion pump, that is calcium ATPase. So in this case, transport of 2 calcium ion from inside of a cell to the outside while returning 2 hydrogen ions from outside per ATP. So for one ATP, there will be the transfer of 2 calcium ions from inside to outside and 2 hydrogen ions from outside to inside. So next concept is a mechanism of sorting and regulation of intracellular transport. So intracellular transport is the movement of vesicles and substances within a cell. So in the cell there is a movement of a substances takes place, and we call it as intracellular transport, that is within the cell. Intracellular transport is required for maintaining homeostasis within the cell by responding to physiological signals. So here this intracellular transport helps the cell in homeostasis. and the proteins synthesized in the cytosol are distributed to their respective organelles. Eukaryotic cells transport pocket of component to particular intracellular location, and this facilitates the movement of essential molecules such as membrane bounded vesicles and organelles, mRNA and also chromosomes. The intracellular transport is unique to the eukaryotic cells because they possess organelles enclosed in a membrane, and this intracellular transport in case of a prokaryotes is totally different. The transport vesicles are small structure within the cell consisting of a fluid enclosed by a lipid bilayer, binding of the vesicle to a target membrane and fusion of the vesicle membrane to target membrane. So these vesicles are used to transport proteins both out of the cell and into the cells. So here in the diagram you may observe this is the cytosol and this is the Golgi bodies, and you may observe clathrin coated bud. So clathrin coated bud, it is coated by the clathrin triskeletons, and then this clathrin coated bud is converted into by the clathrin triskeletons, it is converted into clathrin coated vesicles. Then these coat is uncoated to form a uncoated transport vesicles. The secretion of a protein is called as exocytosis. Internalization of the protein is called as endocytosis. So in the intracellular transport, these exocytosis and endocytosis play a very important role, that is they help in transport of the proteins. Proteins are transported in coated vesicles. Constituted transport from endoplasmic reticulum through the Golgi takes place by COP coated vesicles. Clathrin coated vesicles are used for both regulated exocytosis and endocytosis. So here uncoated transport vesicle, next it move and there is a release of the receptor molecule. So after the release of the receptor, there is again the chain continuous, that is clathrin coated pit. It is enclosed by a vesicle, and again there is a uncoated of the clathrin occurs, and that is leads to the formation of uncoated endocytic vesicle. And let's discuss about the last topic, that is electrical properties of membranes. So all animal cells are surrounded by a plasma membrane. The fluid on both sides of the membrane contains high concentration of mobile ions. So mobile ions may be of sodium ions, potassium ions, chlorine, or maybe calcium ions. And the membrane potential arises from the interaction of ion channels and ion pumps embedded in the membrane, which maintain different ion concentration on the intracellular and extracellular sides of the membrane. So these membrane proteins has two main functions. So first function is it provides power to operate a variety of molecular devices embedded in the membrane. So there is activation of a molecular devices takes place, and second one function is electrically excitable cells such as neurons. It is used for transmitting signals between different parts of the cell. So second function is there is a transmission of a signals between different part of a cell. So it takes place by the neurons. So opening and closing of ion channels in the membrane produces a local change in the membrane potential, which causes electric current to flow rapidly to other points in the membrane. So this is regarding the electrical properties of membranes. So by this topic we came to know about the different concept, that is osmosis, next active transport, ion channels, ion pumps, and also electrical properties of a membrane. So in the next class let us discuss about the structure and function of some of the organelles. Thank you.